Being a perfectionist is holding you back. Now, this is coming from a place of somebody who used to struggle a whole lot with perfectionism, and I've been unlearning that bad trait of being a perfectionist. Because I think when I first would tell people I'm a perfectionist, I would use it as like it was a good trait to have. It was like, oh yeah, man, I'm such a perfectionist. I make sure that everything is perfect and this, and this. But I've realized that I have the wisdom now to know and to give the advice of so many people are holding themselves back, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for the perfect scenario, waiting for the perfect circumstances, waiting for the perfect piece of content, the perfect idea, and it doesn't exist. And honestly, the longer that you're waiting, you're just slowing the progress of growth in results, in progress. So my advice to anyone would be take action as fast as you possibly can. And if you want to become successful, what I have found is the most successful people take action very fast. They have an idea and then they're taking action and they're putting it out into the world as soon as possible. So here's a story of how this affected me in a negative way. I believe it's just being so afraid of messing up. So it's like the fear of messing up made me want to wait until everything was perfect, it was polished. And this is maybe 2 to 3 years ago, I made my first course and it was teaching people how to edit music videos. It took me 14 months to make this course, right? So for 14 months, I was still updating the pages. A lot of it was just the learning curve of learning how to make a course. How do you outline a course? What do you include in the course? Which platforms do you choose? And I was so obsessed with being afraid of making the wrong decision that indecision by default in a lot of different cases is the wrong answer. So long story short, after 14 months, I had a very beautiful landing page that I was sending people to for my music video course, but it was 14 months of making $0 from it. Now, meanwhile, a friend of mine, Malik, he had bought a course from this Instagram coach Mike guy, and it was hundreds of dollars. And this guy is posting screenshots showing that like he had made over $1 million with this course. And when I checked out his course, you would notice if you've ever tried to design a website, they'll give you like blocks with just, random stock photos that you're supposed to swap out. So an example would be like you're making a section on your website and it gives you a random stock photo here of like some socks. And then there's a random text block right here and it'll say, write your text block here. On this guy's website, he had random things like that. But again, he had made millions of dollars with this ugly, not perfect website. And meanwhile, I had made $0 and spent 14 months making the most beautiful, perfect website. And once it was finally done, I sold tens of courses. Like I made hundreds of dollars, not even thousands of dollars. So knowing what I know now, it would be, what would be the fastest way possible that you could launch a course? And I think when you change your perspective or like the frame that you make decisions on that, you'll see a lot more progress, a lot more results, because instead of trying to make something perfect, say once a month, if I said, try to make something every single day, like you're gonna lower that bar of perfect because it's not possible and it would be way harder to make the perfect piece of content every single day. So instead, that route, that's why when people ask me, is it quality or is it quantity? I'm saying it's quantity all day, because quantity is how you achieve the quality and quantity is how you grow and how you improve and how you get better. And I believe that like building your brand, your personal brand on social media, it's reminding people that you exist, for one. So with quantity, you're gonna continue to show up. You're gonna continue to pop up. Quantity is something that we all have control of because it's effort, If your shit's not that good, it's just only a matter of time and a matter of quantity until it is good.
Real quick, if you didn't know, I offer a very limited amount of one-on-one calls. Whether you're feeling stuck or you just want personal help, go to crackhousestudios.com/call. Talk to you soon. Back to the video.
Definitely say focus on quantity, but I'm the strategy guy. I'm the big picture. I'm the thinker. I'm the guy with a plan for anything and everything. And even with that being said, I still go the extra mile for almost everything, and I make sure I cross my T's and dot my I's. However, I am running from indecision. And there's a lot of people that I've met and that I've worked with and that I see that are holding themselves back. And I can spot an amateur, and let's define the amateur. An amateur is somebody somebody that doesn't have experience doing something. I've never ice skated in my life, so it's safe to call me an amateur ice skater. I've never done it. And even if I have ice skated a handful or 2 times, I'm still an amateur. I'm not efficient, or, it's not something that I do often. So when it comes to, I have 20 years of working with music artists, and I remember so many different times. There was this one music artist, and he was, coming to the studio every few weeks or so, making a song. His music was great, and he had to have made 20, 30 songs over 2 to 3 years, and he wasn't putting any of the music out. And so I'm asking him, if you don't mind me asking, like, why the hell aren't you putting this music out? Oh, I'm just waiting to decide which song I'm gonna come out with first. And me have already coming out with 10, 20, 30 different ideas of mine that I've launched, that I realize that in your head, it's such a big deal, but in the world, no one cares. So the sooner you drop, you'll realize, oh shit, it wasn't what I thought. And this artist, he had the false mindset, the amateur mindset of when he drops, the entire world is gonna stop and pay attention to which song it was that he came out with. And I knew that the reality is, it doesn't matter what song you drop first, you're gonna drop a song, no one's gonna hear it, no one cares, and you're gonna realize, oh shit, I waited 3 years to start this process of, damn, I gotta hurry up now. I'm so far behind schedule, and I have to speed things up. And I can't believe I delayed this long, because that's that perfectionist, AKA starving artist mindset. Any advice that I give to anyone, it's all like, this is how you have a career out of this. Because I believe what most people's end goal is to find a way to make a living doing something that you enjoy. So when artists come to me for advice on their music career, I'm like, this is advice based on the realm of, you want to figure out a way to make a living doing this. So this is how you do it. And if you're the type that makes excuses and blames circumstances that you can't change or control, you got that victim mindset, and then you would be classified in that amateur starving artist mindset about like, it's not fair, I don't like making content. It should be about this, but it's not. And so the sooner that you accept that, I would say the sooner that you can help yourself. Otherwise, you're just playing the helpless card, which is like, what are you working on? What do you got going on? It's like, here's the helpless card. I haven't accepted that times have changed. I haven't accepted that it's a digital world now. I haven't accepted that social media is how we broadcast who we are and what we do. So yeah, you gotta get out of your head, you gotta get out of your way. Perfect time, perfect scenario, it doesn't exist, and it never will exist. And so a lot of my decisions I put through that filter as well, where there was a time when I started a podcast with a friend of mine, Something in the Water, and I was thinking, bro, I'm so busy right now, and he was talking about he's so busy, and I was like, but wait, let's pause. What are your goals based on your future? It's like, I'm just getting started, we're gonna grow this. So I'm like, well then technically you're always gonna be busy, and you're gonna continue being busy. And same thing for me. I'm busy right now. If you ask me what are my goals, I have all these big goals, dreams, ambition of all this stuff that I want to do. So I'm going to continue being busy. So busy is the normal. So we just have to find a way to make time for this, because we're always going to be busy. So that was like an example of, we'll wait until we're less busy, and then that'll be more of the perfect time. Wisdom, there is no such thing as the perfect time. So how can you squeeze it in with the time that you have right now? Okay, well, yeah, we can both make time for at least a few hours, and that way we could film it, we could edit it, we could post it, boom. And that's how we'll make it make sense. So I would think of, this video, for example. Obviously, I would like to have the perfect message or whatever, but at the end of the day, there's value in this video, and this video will help somebody, and then that's the purpose of it. So I'm gonna share it. I could spend 2 to 3 times longer on filming this to make it, a small percentage better? 2 to 3 times longer editing it to make it, a smidge better? When it's like, no, the message is what's more important. It sounds weird saying like lower your standards, but accept reality, and the reality is, unfortunately, again, I don't make the rules, but I'm just relaying the message that I've learned about reality. Everyone is the main character in their own world. You're the main character in your world. So in your eyes, how you view things, you have the spotlight effect, which is you're the main character. Everything matters so much to you, but you have to accept that you're only the main character in your life. In everyone else's life, they're the main character. So like at the end of the movie, when it has all the credits and you see like taxi driver number 3, bartender number 4, that's who you are in most people's life, if you're lucky. Because again, people have a lot of shit going on in their life, so the last thing they're thinking about is probably you. So that perfect thing in your head, you're gonna have to work really, really hard to get that to even appear in front of people. Don't be a perfectionist. I would say if you think perfectionist is a good trait, it's not. It's actually a bad trait. I would say that's a toxic trait. Instead, I'd reframe it of I'm working on improving this problem that I've had for a long time of being a perfectionist. And so now I'm focused on taking action more and creating a standard of what is good enough. So something I say all the time is, well, in a perfect world, this would be true. But it's not a perfect world, so the bare minimum would be, this is the minimum standard right here. And this bare minimum standard is good and better than probably 80% of other options. And it's like, this is the good enough. Establish what your good enough is for all the things that you've been overthinking. So much of what you need to learn, you learn from doing the thing. One thing I learned about being a perfectionist is somebody that is a perfectionist, they're trying to have 100% of it planned out in their head before taking action. And what I learned was all you need is about 60 to 70% planned out in your head, because it is good to have a plan. It is good to have strategy, but you only need to have it planned or strategized 70% of the way. And then now you start taking action, and that last 30% you could not have predicted. I can't tell you how many of the most perfect ideas I've had in my head and through conversation talking to other people about this idea. And then when I went to actually execute, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't account for this. And I would have never known that unless I did the thing. So because of that, you become the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you realize that you're somebody that tends to overthink, let the people that are close to you in your circle know, hey, real quick, by the way, I have a bad history of overthinking some stuff. So sometimes when we're talking about ideas, I may be coming from the wrong place of being a perfectionist. So I give you the green light to give me feedback and let me know, because I want to do this thing. This is important to me and I don't want to get in my own way. So you have the green light to tell me. And then even better would be surround yourself with people that take action really fast, because if you take action really slow and tend to overthink things, and you surround yourself with somebody else that takes action really fast, now you end up somewhere in the middle there where you still have your great strategy and planning in place, but you have their speed and execution and taking action, and somewhere in the middle there is where you meet. And now you have strategy, you have planning, and you're taking action. Hope this video helps. Subscribe and like for more. I'll see you guys next time. Cracka TV. We out. Shoo.